This is State Senator Tom Bennett with an update on Friday, April 21st. This week we heard from the Chicago mayor-elect in a joint address to the Illinois General Assembly. In this speech, Brandon Johnson outlined his plans for Chicago that included a lot of focus on taxes and very little on crime. While Chicago is an important economic engine for the state of Illinois, we need the city to be both economically viable and safe. This speech sounded like a rehashing of the same broken ideas that have been hurting Chicago and all of Illinois for decades. Right now, Illinoisans are seeing alarming headlines coming from Chicago, and it's already affecting tourism. Now is not the time to focus on raising taxes over the safety of our citizens. Increasing taxes will only continue to push businesses and jobs out of the city and to other states. Mayor-elect Johnson needs to get us serious about working to address the challenges that face Chicago. He needs a plan to hold criminals accountable and keep people safe. And he needs to find a way to put together a budget that doesn't take even more money out of families' pockets. This week we had the chance to question officials from the Department of Children and Family Services during an appropriations hearing. DCFS has been in the news quite a bit in recent years for the growing number of children who have died under their watch. In fact, from fiscal year 2015 through 2018, there was an average number of 100 children who died each year. And these are children who are on the agency's radar for some reason. From fiscal year 2018 to 2022, that number grew to an average of almost 130 deaths each year, with 171 in 2022 alone. Keep in mind, this is just the number of deaths that met specific criteria for an investigation. There are likely many more vulnerable children who have died. This is despite an increase in funding for the agency of more than $767 million. This is completely unacceptable, and it's tragic. The Pritzker administration has to do better, and they need to get to the bottom of why this agency continues to fail to protect vulnerable children. We need a complete, top-to-bottom overhaul of this agency immediately. Lastly, there was an additional movement this week in the court case on the statewide assault weapon ban. In the 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, the judge denied an injunction that would momentarily pause the gun ban while it is still being fought in court. This injunction was requested by several firearms store owners so that they could resume their sales of the impacted firearms to avoid negative impacts to their businesses. As you may remember, I voted no on this legislation because I believe it is likely unconstitutional. While this judge's decision isn't the end of the case, I still think it's likely that courts will overturn the ban. For other news and to sign up for my newsletter, please visit senatortombennett.com and on social media at facebook.com/Senator Tom Bennett.